Oh boy, have I got a movie for you. Now, as you know, I love me some good old-fashioned 1970s pseudoscience documentaries. The Loch Ness Monster, UFOs, the paranormal, Stonehenge, the Bermuda Triangle, ESP, Atlantis, Easter Island, the pyramids, all that stuff. It's pretty much all BS, but it's still a hoot. Well, everyone's favorite pseudoscience subject is none other than Bigfoot, the huge ape-like missing link that purportedly lives in the Pacific Northwest, and Bigfoot is the focus of the movie we're talking about this time. The classic Sasquatch, the Legend of Bigfoot from 1976. Like all that other stuff, Bigfoot was all the rage at the time, and there were several Bigfoot documentary movies produced in the 1970s. Sasquatch is one of the best, although it's not what you think. Our story goes like this. A legit sounding but vaguely named scientific foundation is mounting an expedition into the wilderness of the Pacific Northwest to find and capture a live specimen of Bigfoot for science. The leader of the team is a researcher who also narrates as the story progresses. On his team is a Bigfoot expert and scientific researcher. You know he's a scientist because he wears glasses. There's this Alexi Lawless-looking guy. He's a rancher who believes in this mission to find Bigfoot and is providing horses and pack mules for the expedition. There's a reporter for a legit-sounding but vaguely named news service. He's a total skeptic on Bigfoot, and he has a bad attitude, but is a good writer who wants to document the search. There's also this guy. He's a cook and a sharpshooter. He also provides the comic relief in the movie. We have a guy trying to pass himself off as Mad Jack from Grizzly Adams. He even has a cantankerous burro. He's an old-timer and experienced guide who will lead the team to a river they need to cross. And there's a Native American who knows his people's legends of Bigfoot, and after crossing the river, will guide the party to an area Bigfoot is supposed to dwell in. The expedition travels into the wilderness over the course of several months, looking for signs of Bigfoot. Along the way, they recount legends of the monster, including two famous stories we see reenacted. In one, some miners in a mountain cabin are attacked by a group of Big Feet, and in the other, two trappers encounter a Bigfoot, one of the pair being killed and the other escaping. Eventually, the team reaches Bigfoot country, where their camp is set upon and attacked one night by some Big Feet in the film's centerpiece sequence. All of this is totally fake. Although it is true Teddy Roosevelt heard the story of the two trappers and put that in one of his nature books. While the movie purports to be a documentary on the search for Bigfoot, it really isn't. All the people in the picture are actors. Every one of them, including the Native American guide, who I suspect is just a white guy in a wig. His real name was Joe Morello. Doesn't sound very Native American to me. He was in a few kid shows and later gave up regular acting, I guess, to become a drama teacher. Anyway, the director and most of this cast didn't do much after this movie. A few have a handful of other credits and nothing more. Some have no other credits. So the acting in this is not very good, to be honest. Line delivery is very forced or weak or overdone, although the guy narrating the story along the way is very good at that. I liked his narration, and he has a good voice for it. The picture builds up some suspense as it goes along and gives us a few genuinely scary scenes for its time, but this is not really a horror movie. No. Sometimes it's billed that way, but it isn't. And it's not a proper documentary, even for a pseudoscience subject. It's completely staged and scripted, but has the trappings of a documentary. Perhaps at its very core, the movie is a nature documentary. As the group travels along, we get to see plenty of footage of wildlife. The typical stuff you'd see on shows like Grizzly Adams, raccoons getting into mischief, deer, wolf pups, mountain lions, that kind of thing. The movie is a hybrid of all of this stuff, and I'd say it's almost unique in that regard. There are certainly things to like here. In the first place, they try not to show Bigfoot's face. He's seen in shadows or backlit by the sun, or the camera is Bigfoot's point of view. Now, we do see the creature's face fleetingly later on. This actor, by the way, went on to star in a sci-fi film the following year. No, he didn't. Mostly, Bigfoot is seen in silhouette. That was a wise move on the part of the filmmakers, since Bigfoot is a mysterious being, and hiding his face plays that up. And also because people would see he's just a guy in a gorilla suit. I also like the sound they developed for Bigfoot, a sort of spooky, eerie scream. The music is great too. The soundtrack was actually issued on a 7-inch record, and all of the tracks were used in the movie, including the theme song called High in the Mountains. Yup, I think the people who made this probably were. But, okay, I gotta tell you, I love this movie. I saw it many years ago when I was little, and I won't lie, I have some serious nostalgia for it. So, I'm giving Sasquatch, The Legend of Bigfoot, 2.25 paws. I know, that's generous. The acting is terrible. It's a low-budget, goofy picture, but there's just something about it. The mysterious quality of the creature is well handled, the music is fitting, the reenactments are good, I like the narration, and the attack on the camp is very well realized and suspenseful. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.